Hello, my name's Stanley, and I'm the creator of a children's podcast called Bedtime Stories with Nennis and Douglas. The stories are released twice a week, with Nennis on a Sunday and Douglas on a Wednesday. Each story is entirely original, and each are set in and around the magical town of Horsmar Lonnapole, with a large but regular cast, which means that with every release, the world gets more and more detailed. Uniquely, the podcast also offers a read-along function via the website, which means that children can practice their literacy skills by either reading the stories to themselves or listening to the stories via a player and following along to the transcript. So, Nennis on a Sunday and Douglas on a Wednesday. But who are these two crazy cats? Well, Nennis is a human man and a storyteller who lives in Horsmar Lonnapole. And Douglas is his best friend. And Douglas is a dragon, a storytelling dragon, who also lives in Horsmar Lonnapole. Nennis and Douglas are very different, but they can rely on each other for anything. Bedtime Stories with Nennis and Douglas is entirely written, recorded and edited by myself, which, as you can imagine, takes up many, many hours a week. Mrs. Perrinpease reached into the basket and then held up a very small but very calm Labrador puppy. Everyone gasped in surprise. I have decided... Mrs. Perrinpease is hard to do. Mrs. Perrinpease is the headmistress of Halfhitch, the school, and she's quite hard to get right, but... I have decided to call her Harriet, after our very first headmaster and founder of Halfhitch, Mr. Harry Dog. I've got a professional recording studio. It's not a professional recording studio at all. These are just some cushions that I found, but it works. It works fine. So why do I need Patreon, and why do I need your support? Well, firstly, it will help with the cost of hosting the podcast and also the website. Whoa. Secondly, it will help me maintain the read-along service, which I think will be really valuable to children. Why am I on a log? Thirdly, my aim is to do this full time and be a professional storyteller. And fourthly, it will help me make Horsmar Lonnapole bigger and better and do live shows in the future. No! Oh, that's cold. But I knew that would happen. It will help me do live shows in the future from a pond or in a theatre when they reopen. It will help, your support will help make the world of Horsmar Lonnapole all the more real, all the more vibrant, and all the more useful for parents and for children. If your children are enjoying the podcast, or if you're enjoying the podcast, because I know there are lots of grown-up listeners too, and you can afford to contribute, then I hope I've created lots of additional attractions that should make it worth your while. There are 4 tiers to choose from, and any money generated goes towards keeping the podcast advert-free, because adverts are the last thing you want when settling down to enjoy a story, and I'm determined to keep it that way. And if you're thinking, well, he sat there in a nice house, he's obviously doing okay, it's not my house. I'm a house guest. I don't have a house. Thank you for even considering donating to this podcast. I know there are plenty of other things to spend your money on, but I hope that if you do, you will be really well rewarded. I hope to keep this going for years, maybe 1,000 stories, all set in the same land, in what will be an incredibly rich and detailed land. And I would be thrilled and honoured if you were to come along for the ride. Thank you.